If you're new, I'm Kirsten. I've been renovating my Chevy G20 1991 into a camper van for a year and a half. And recently, now that my van is pretty much almost finished, I decided to enjoy all of the work that I've done over the past year and take a trip to Vancouver Island for the winter. So it was absolutely beautiful. Oh, I miss the island so much, and I miss living in my van. I've been back in Alberta for like almost a week now, I think. It's just time to like deep clean my van after living in it for 2 months. That way I can continue on with my van build renovations. Also, living on the road for 2 months taught me what works in my van and what doesn't. For example, this whole bed lifts up. The whole bed lifts up and there's storage underneath the bed. Originally, I was going to keep all of my personal items underneath the bed, like my clothing and stuff like that. But now I've realized that the plumbing and the fresh water is gonna have to go under the bed, and that's gonna take up most of the space. So now, like for example, I have to build a separate drawer for my personal items and for my clothing to go into. So the van is still a work in progress. I'm ready to get started on finishing up my van build so that I can continue to live in here full time, because I love van life with my whole entire heart, and I just cannot wait to just have this entire space to myself and just live the life of freedom that I've always dreamed of. Anyway, let's get cleaning then. The outside has accumulated on the inside. There's just like dirt all over the floor. Okay, I'm gonna go run these dishes in the dishwasher and then I'll be back. It's so dusty, I don't even know where to start. Want to hear a cute story? Because I just found this piece of paper in here. Basically, the story is I would pay for a spot maybe like 5 or 6 days in advance in a British Columbia provincial park campground. I would leave for the day, come back around 6 p.m., sometimes a little bit later. I would go back to my campsite that I had booked. They put a little slip of paper on the campsite post to show that this spot is booked, right? Sometimes I would arrive to my campsite at night or in the evening and someone would be in the campsite. Sometimes my original slip of paper was still there and we would show the person and be like, hey, I booked this site. Can you move, please? Sometimes I would show up though, and my slip of paper would be gone, and theirs would be where mine had just been. This happened numerous times. At Goldstream, this happened probably 3 or 4 times during the New Year's week. And there was one time I arrived super late at night. I think it was like 11 p.m. or something, because I had went out for New Year's to watch the fireworks. Actually, maybe it was even later, like 1 in the morning or something really late. And I arrived to the campsite that I had booked, and there was someone there with their whole tent set up already. My partner and I spoke to the person and saying, like, hey, we booked this spot, but you already have your whole tent set up. We don't want to make you move. This person did not pay. Our slip of paper was still there. So some of these people were just trying to come in late and sleep for free and leave early in the morning. And I think this person was one of those people. So I was just like, whatever, we'll share the campsite with this person for tonight, and then whatever. So we woke up in the morning, and this little slip of paper was next to the van. It says, hi, sorry for the trouble, thanks for letting us sleep, happy new year. And then they drew my van. It's so adorable. It's such a cute little drawing, and I don't know, when I saw this, like, the note is nice, but the drawing, the fact that they drew Tori and like the cutest little cartoon van, like, that is just adorable. That is so cute, and that made my day. And I keep it here just because it's a nice drawing, it's a nice memory. But yeah, that situation would happen a bunch of times, like probably on my entire trip. It maybe happened 5 or 6 times in total, and it wasn't just Goldstream. This happened in Rathchever as well. These people would be like, sorry, like, when I pulled into this spot, there was no slip of paper on the post. So that leads me to believe that the campground, what do you call them, rangers? The people who work at the campground, are they going around and removing people's slips of paper showing that they booked a spot so that we are forced to move somewhere else and pay? That way they get twice the money? Because I'm really not sure why this kept happening. Like, it happened at least 2 or 3 times where we went back to our spot for the night and our slip of paper was gone, and we would talk to the campground person, and they'd be, oh, I don't know where it went. Like, the campground ranger had no idea where the paper went. What do you mean you don't know where it went? Because sometimes we had a great spot booked, sometimes we had a shitty spot booked, and sometimes our shitty spot would be taken and the person who took the spot would say, there wasn't a slip of paper here when I arrived. And why would the people go through the trouble of stealing a shitty spot? It doesn't make sense, and I don't know why that kept happening, but another thing van life has taught me is that I hate wooden bowls and plates. These are disgusting. I'm gonna be donating all of the wooden bowls and plates that I have. I was so excited to find some really cute and aesthetic wooden bowls and plates. But after using them, I am never going to buy them again. If you have wooden bowls and plates, they are oftentimes treated with chemicals to preserve the wood. When you eat off of those bowls and plates, you can tend to eat those chemicals that are preserving the wood. And another thing is that wooden I don't know, what do you call it, cutlery? Wooden bowls and plates, whatever, must be washed immediately. They cannot sit with food or water on them for a long time because the wood will start to absorb whatever is put onto it. And the chemicals will help with this for the first while, but once you start like using the wooden bowls and plates a lot, the chemicals are going to start wearing away and they are going to start absorbing the water and food that you put onto them. I do not do my dishes like as soon as I'm finished eating. Sometimes I leave it in the sink for a few hours. Sometimes I leave it in the sink for a day before I do the dishes. And with wooden bowls and plates, you're not supposed to do this. And my partner and I noticed that our wooden bowls were getting really, really stinky. And there was this white residue on it that would not go away even when you washed it. And so we looked it up and we learned this information. Meanwhile, we had been soaking them in the sink for like 24 hours, and I don't know how many times that we did this. On top of the bad smell, we were getting very, very gassy on the trip, and we thought that it might be because we were eating out of these contaminated bowls. As soon as we went to the store and purchased glass bowls and stopped using the wooden bowls, our symptoms went away. And unless you can keep up with the maintenance, I would not recommend it. And just the fact that they treat it with chemicals just to preserve the wood and then you're eating those, it just doesn't feel good. I'm almost like scared to look inside the freezer. Oh. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it would be in here. It's just like really wet. Just left all of the fridge accessories just on the counter so that they can just dry out, and I left the fridge door open just so any remaining moisture can just dry out overnight. Okay. Hey, what is this? Okay. I bought the skinniest floor mats I could find, and I mean, I guess it fits okay. It just looks a bit weird. Like, it doesn't look that good. Doesn't really look good. But I already ripped open the packaging and I don't even know if I have the receipt for it anyway. Okay, I put them in a different way and I think it looks a lot better like that. My van didn't come with floor mats, so I've just been like putting my feet on the rug this whole time, but I think this will make it so much easier to clean. And that's gonna be handy as well. I thought I was done and then I remembered I forgot to sweep under here. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm finally finished. The only thing I have left is the composting toilet, which I'm pretty sure doesn't need emptying yet, but I am just gonna run to the store and get some vinegar and just freshen it up a little bit. Here's an overview of my van. Nice, clean. Ooh.